Is Zion getting traded? There are a few options for him. Zion Williamson was meant to be the next big thing in the NBA. He was dominant in high school and at Duke. But ever since that freak injury with his shoe, it's been almost all downhill for him in the NBA. Sure, when he's on the court, he's really good. But he hasn't been on the court that much, and that's the problem. As a result of that, many feel that the New Orleans Pelicans are open to trading him instead of risking him not being on the court for them. We'll show you how it might go down. The New York Knicks. We're going to name each team and then give you the potential trade deals here, okay? First up, the Knicks. New Orleans Pelicans receive forward Obi Toppin, guard Alec Burks, 2022 first-round pick, NYK, 2023 first-round pick, NYK swap, 2024 first-round pick, NYK, 2025 first-round pick, NYK swap, 2026 first-round pick, NYK. New York Knicks receive forward Zion Williamson. As some like to joke, you might refer to this as a Harden kind of trade, as in James Harden. But not when he went to the 76ers, but rather when he went to the Nets. Because in that trade, the Nets gave the Houston Rockets a lot of draft picks in order to get Harden, and the Knicks might try such a deal. They're parting with a total of 6 picks or pick swaps in this exchange. That's one less than the Rockets received for Harden. The Beard was an in-prime superstar without a laundry list of injury concerns, so thus why this trade is a bit tricky at best. With so many questions surrounding Williamson's future, his value is slightly depreciated. Plus, the Pelicans are receiving a promising young player at the same position in Obi Toppin. The irony, of course, is that the Knicks are in a bit of a desperation play currently, as the Nets have outshined them in getting the big-name players as of late. And if they don't make a play for someone soon, they could further shrink into obscurity. But whether Zion is that must-have player still is a bit up in the air. Hence, the riskiness of it all. But sometimes risks are what work. Just ask the next team on our list. Houston Rockets. Yep, it's the Houston Rockets. Here's the rumored trade breakdown for them. New Orleans Pelicans receive center Alperen Sengun, center Christian Wood, 2022 first-round pick, Houston, 2023 first-round pick, Brooklyn Nets, 2025 first-round pick, Brooklyn Nets. Houston Rockets receive forward Zion Williamson. To be fair, the Rockets are as good a candidate to broker a blockbuster for Williamson as any. As a franchise that has enjoyed consistent success in recent history, they'd love to accelerate their rebuild. An offense built around Williamson and Jalen Green would overwhelm opponents on a nightly basis. As for the Pelicans, they receive an interesting package here. Depending on who you talk to, Alperen Sengun is either a future superstar or a quality reserve. His blend of low-post footwork and prodigious passing vision titillates. On the other hand, his slow feet and short arms lend themselves to concern about his defensive potential. But in the right person's hands, it could work out. You just need to have a little faith on the matter. Christian Wood is mainly here to make the money work. Still, the Pelicans could see potential in the 26-year-old. Questions about his character and defensive effort are prevalent. The Pelicans also receive a nice return of draft capital here. It's less than they're getting from the Knicks, but that might be better because they're getting people they can work with now versus hoping to work with in the future. Miami Heat. Given where the Heat are right now, they're not thinking about next season just yet. But you never know. New Orleans Pelicans receive guard Tyler Herro, center Omar Yurtseven, guard/forward Duncan Robinson, 2023 first-round pick Miami, 2026 first-round pick Miami, 2028 first-round pick Miami. Miami Heat receive forward Zion Williamson. This deal will come down to how highly the Pelicans front office is on Tyler Herro. At 22, this star potential player is making waves in the Heat culture. At the same time, you'd have to be irrationally high on him to suggest he had the same ceiling as Zion Williamson. This is exactly why the Pelicans are again receiving draft capital here. They are also getting less of it than they do in the other packages. There are two reasons for that. The first one is that the Heat have fewer picks to spare. On the other hand, they are also giving up the young player with the most trade value in this piece in Herro. Omar Yurtseven is a mere throw-in. This season, the 23-year-old rookie has been a pleasant surprise, averaging 15.2 points and 15 rebounds per 36 minutes. He has the potential to be a long-standing rotation player in the NBA. Robinson is mostly a salary matcher. With Harrow and Yurtseven both on modest rookie deals, the Pelicans are forced to eat his questionable contract in this exchange. He still flashed the potential to be an elite floor spacer in the NBA, even if he was having a down year in 2021-22. Still, this trade is highlighted by Harrow and 3 first-round picks from the Pelicans' perspective. If their asking price is a young star in draft capital, they will struggle to do much better. Now, again, this will depend on the results of the season in regards to the Heat. Because if they win it all, which is more than possible, they might not want to break up their core that got them the title. But if it is to happen, and Zion stays healthy, they could ensure a repeat performance potentially. Zion staying? Speaking to the media for the first time since September, the New Orleans Pelicans forward was asked if he'd sign the extension he is eligible for this summer if the team offered one. "Of course," Williamson said. "I couldn't sign it fast enough." Williamson is eligible to sign a 5-year, $181 million max rookie extension this summer. But after missing all of the 2021-22 season with a right foot fracture, he has played in just 85 games in his 3-year career. Pelicans coach Willie Green said it was nice to hear Williamson say he wants to stay in New Orleans, but he's focused on the basketball side of things. "I love that he wants to be here, that he wants to be in the gym, working towards getting healthy, working towards being the best player he can be," Green said. "We love anyone who wants to be here in New Orleans with this community, with this culture. That's what we want." Williamson called this season a rough year as he wasn't able to be on the court. In January, he started to rehab in Portland away from the team and didn't return until early March. Once he rejoined the team, Williamson said it helped to put him in a great space. "Being around the guys, being in Smoothie King Center, seeing that playoff environment," Williamson said. "And the locker room. We have a special locker room. My first 2 years, it was a good locker room. But this year, I guess maybe it was the playoffs. It was more together. Being real, it sucks watching from the sideline. I just want to be out there. Just seeing the potential. We have a lot of great pieces. I'm really excited to get out on the court with those guys." Williamson started playing 5-on-5 with teammates and coaches late in the season and into New Orleans' playoff run. While he was never cleared to play actual games, Williamson said he felt he could have, but that he decided along with the coaching staff and front office that staying off his foot would be best for him for the long term. Pelicans Vice President of Basketball Operations David Griffin said Williamson is still a few weeks away from the next set of imaging that could ultimately clear him for good. And that would be when we cross the bridge of, okay, he can do what he wants to in terms of getting ready for next season without any limitation, Griffin said. "If it's 2-a-days, great. If it's 3-a-days, great. His workload won't be monitored at that point, we hope. And at the same time, we've gotten to a point before where we felt confident that was coming. So we have to be realistic in that situation too. So really, it's going to be about let's put him in the best position to succeed physically heading into next season. And I think he's committed to that based on what he told you today." Being realistic is a smart thing to do given the last few years. So, as such, all trade offers are likely to be taken very seriously. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Zion Williamson and where he might just end up before the next NBA season arrives? Do you think that these trades will either make sense or make the Pelicans better? Or as Zion hinted, will he just re-sign with the Pelicans and they let things go however they do? What is the best move in your mind? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time on the channel.